All right, y'all, we're about to talk about it. Why relationships die. Why do relationships die? What are the factors that actually lead to the death of a relationship, especially like a solid relationship, a long-term relationship? Like, man, well, where did I go wrong? All these questions to be like, oh, where did I go wrong? What happened? Like, what happened in this situation that it had to turn this way and it turned that way? There are easy ways. There's an easy way, let me say, to answer that, and there's a hard way to answer that. We're gonna do maybe in between. I'm gonna do in between, and we're gonna talk about this. Okay, let's actually speak on it. Hey everyone, my name is Jerry with God and Jerry, and I'm your number one go-to for finding a kingdom spouse and solving your relationship problems forever. Okay, today we're actually gonna be talking about why relationships die. Why do these things just pass away? for I don't want to say lack of better terminology. I chose that terminology. So why do these relationships all pass away? Why are these relationships unalived? It's actually crazy. I mean, for me, I've gone through a number of heartbreaks. Not a number. I think I went through like one heartbreak. There's only one that I've gone through. But like I've been pretty like upset. Or maybe a little upset by a couple. But you know, there's always key indicators, or really one key indicator, to be honest with you. There's many, and I don't think I'm going to speak on the many. I'm going to talk about one right now. And I think it's the main one. The main one is super important because a lot of people will go through these relationships and they just keep going through relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship after relationship. And it's like, you know, y'all keep going through the same thing. You keep watching the same cycle, keep repeating the same cycle. It's like a broken, I don't want to say a broken record. It's like a broken washing machine. It's a cycle over again and again and again. Like you're wasting water, you're wasting resources, you're wasting electricity, wasting your time, wasting your energy, because you can't figure out why these relationships keep dying. Oh, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What are you doing wrong? We're going to talk about what you're doing wrong, okay? Let me not get aggressive. All right. But here's the thing. Before we get into this, I would like for you to hit the like button and the subscribe. Definitely, it's a super free way to actually support this channel and to make sure videos like this actually get to people who are like you, who actually need this information. We're going deep in this one, okay? It's like charity. It's free. It's free. You hit that. And here's the thing. This video and others are actually going to be able to get to people like you, that you'll never meet. Most of these people you're never going to meet, but you just hitting the like and subscribe actually assists them. And you're doing that for free. You could be changing an entire life, seriously, just by doing that. So appreciate you. Hit the like and subscribe. Let's actually talk about this. Okay. Number one reason to me why relationships die and what I've seen in all these relationships is actually, you know, when someone actually chooses to become unwilling. An unwilling participant is very difficult to manage. I don't want to even say manage. It's very difficult to walk with. The Bible talks about this, right? How can two walk together unless they agree? Now, what does agreement take? Agreement takes willingness. In order for someone to agree with something that's happening, they have to be a willing participant of that thing, right? So a lot of times, when we're getting into relationships, we're not recognizing very soon if the person is willing or unwilling to actually make sure that the connection you guys have is solid. There's actually a course that I've created and catered just for people like you. And I help people actually find the top 1%. You know, if you're somebody that actually wants to find a kingdom spouse and solve all of your relationship problems forever, doesn't matter what age you are. You can be super young, you can be super old. You could be even be in a marriage. You want to strengthen your marriage. Click the link in the description. I help people. I've helped hundreds of people do this. I've only now just put this into an actual course. I used to just do things privately, one-on-one. Very effective to the point where I had to stop at a point because people were doing funny things with it. So now I've had to rebrand how I actually communicate these things in the context of a wholesome marriage. Amen. But definitely click the link in the description if you know that you're somebody that actually wants to find that top 1%. It is possible. I only go for top 1%. I am top 1%. What am I talking about? I am top 1%. And I attract individuals who are at least top 10%. So, you know, my goal is top 1%. That's the goal. Definitely click the link in the description. It'll help you out for sure. Now, I'm going to be real. The far majority of people that you meet at first are going to be unwilling. This is the thing. This is the test to me, and this is why some of these people, I guess these internet individuals, these internet gurus, whatever you want to call them, will talk about how there's like high level interest and low level interests, right? So for me, willingness is broken down into one thing: your level of interest in that person. There's varying levels of willingness until it becomes unwillingness. And I would say, hold on. Let me change that. There's varying levels of interest until it becomes disinterest, right? For me, either someone is willing or they're not willing. And how I measure that is this: how interested is this person? Because some people are interested in you enough to do funny things with you, right? To do things that you shouldn't do before marriage. Praise the Lord. And that's the end, and that's the extent of their interest in you. And so what that means is they're unwilling to go past that point. That's an unwillingness barrier. They're unwilling to go past the shenanigans. Okay. Now, if you want a serious relationship, clearly you're not going to try and swindle or force or persuade or pursue that person and convince them to try and do this thing with you when their interest level stops there, their willingness level stops there. Most people will do the opposite and try to persuade and try to convince and try to persuade somebody. Hey, I'm going to pursue you. I know that, we can make this work, and you're going to pursue them, and you're going to look like a freaking idiot. You're going to look dumb, because the reality is that person is not interested in you enough to go past that point. There's an unwillingness. All relationships die when unwillingness enters the chat. Okay. And it happens at different points in time. Now, if you are like someone like, okay, for instance, someone like myself who has helped hundreds of people in this area, I can recognize unwillingness very, very early on, very early, like days, hours. I can recognize that very quickly because I've sat with so many people, not only in a relationship context, but in a business context. I understand human beings. I just understand them. And they fascinate me. Human beings they fascinate me. I'm a human being, obviously, but human beings fascinate me. And the thing is, if you can actually begin to recognize the traits of unwillingness right away, the sooner you can recognize that, the faster you're going to be able to go through these different options that you have, and sift through to find serious ones. A lot of people, you'll be like, oh man, I can't find the person I'm looking for. Or no, or like, and one thing, this is one, let me speak on this. I don't like that women wait for men to speak to them. I think it's weakness. And I think that you're doing yourself a disservice because you're limiting yourself significantly by just allowing people who are bold enough to talk to you, to court you or whatever. The reason why I say this is because, and again, I'm saved. I'm saved by the grace of God. I get rededicated my life to Christ 5 years ago. So my life has totally changed. But people who maybe not so much say how I used to be, because I wasn't even that bad compared to some people I know, but like bold individuals typically have a lot of experience, and a lot of times, like not all the time, but a lot of the time, those are not the type of people that you want anyway, because they're doing funny things. They have such a high level of experience, and that's why they're bold. And these are the people that you want to come and talk to you. And then you're wondering why you keep ending up with cheaters. You keep ending up with people who abuse you physically and emotionally and verbally and whatever. You keep crying about these things because what you're doing is you are allowing yourself to be fit into this box of only people who come talk to me are the people who I will date. And that's why you're going to continue seeing the results that you have. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. you are insane. By definition, clinical, you're insane. So in order to break that insanity, you have to start opening your mind a little bit more. And what that means is you can also approach. There's nothing in this entire world that prevents you from approaching. Men approach. A lot of men, most men don't like to approach because it puts us out of our comfort zone. And we don't like rejection, which is the same reason women don't do that. Now they might be like, oh no, I just don't want to approach because, I don't want to have to be the one to pursue a man. That's pride. Like that's ego and pride. But it's masking fear of rejection. You just don't want to be rejected, right? And here's the thing: if you weren't so afraid of it, you would be doing it, but you don't because you're afraid of it. And now you want to mask it as like, oh well, I don't want. Like you mask it as this like this strong thing. I'm strong, and I'm only a strong man can come talk to me. So I'm gonna wait for him to come talk to me, right? But you keep getting cheated on. And you keep getting into these weird relationships and with people who are unwilling, and most of your relationships keep dying. So and the men, y'all are the same. Like y'all, for I don't know, like most men don't even have the courage to go and talk to somebody. You need to change that. It's a fear thing. It's a comfort zone thing, and you can change that. Loneliness is a choice. I want to repeat that. Loneliness is a choice. You choose to be lonely. There are 8 billion human beings in this world, and a lot of them are outside all the time. Like in the place I live in Canada. Right now where I live, even if it's like minus 40 degrees, you're going to find people outside. Like 24 hours a day. There is no time where people are not outside. If you're in the States, that's probably even more true for y'all. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse. You have apps. You have all this. Again, I'd only recommend apps in certain contexts, but you have it. You have apps. You have all these different things, but you still choose to be lonely. You still choose to be by yourself, and you have to change that. That's part of again. That's unwillingness, by the way. That is an example of unwillingness. You are part of the problem. When you start to become willing in all areas of your life, and you find individuals who are willing in all areas of their life, which are rare, by the way. They're rare. But there's enough, like people watching this, there's enough people in the world to find, like top 10%. I shoot for the top 1%, but top 10% is not bad. Okay. When you start getting a little lower than that, that's when you start seeing funny things. But shoot for top 10 if you can. But yeah, you want to, again, find people who are actually willing. Like that unwillingness thing, that's how relationships die. Right? Someone that doesn't want to do something that you should be doing, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to do it. That's not the type of person you should be around. And normally, here's the thing, far majority of the time, you check these tendencies early. You got to recognize these things early. Not when you're in, when you're in a relationship, sure. But you don't even need to be so fast to hop into a relationship with somebody. For me, ideally, I try to vet someone 6 months to a year before I get into a relationship with that person. I just want to see how they are. I just want to see how they move. Some people, you're all happy-go-lucky. You guys want to go real quick, and that's fine. But a lot of y'all be making mistakes because you do that. And you're wondering, why this is not working? This is not working. Well, that's why. You got to take your time and vet somebody and actually know who they are. Because most of the time, marriages, not most of the time, I believe all of the time, all divorces are avoidable. All of the time when a divorce occurs, it's because people or someone did not recognize the early signs of a problem. I've never, ever in my life seen a situation where a divorce occurs and the flags were not there from the beginning. I've never seen that. Not ever. Not once. I will never see that. I already know. I will never see that. Some people are like, oh, well, they're just good at hiding it. Well, get better at finding it. All right. I'm going to give y'all a trick. Okay. If your partner says these things, the relationship, you gotta pay attention to what's going on. Okay. Watch this video right here. If your partner says these, if your partner says these things, listen, pay attention, because things could be awry. All right. Things could be afoot. I'm Jerry with God and Jerry, and I'm out. Blessings.